Develop muscle after 75. The protein in this fruit is 1,000 AX better than eggs. As a surgeon, I was trained to believe that after the age of 75, meat was irreplaceable. The thinking was straightforward. Protein builds muscle, and muscle determines survival. This was the accepted formula, with no room for discussion or exceptions. However, as I began to delve into the metabolic data of my patients over 75, this deeply held belief started to waver. It wasn't that meat lost its value entirely, but rather that the aging body, beyond 75, no longer processes protein in the same efficient way it did at 50 or even 65. Digestion slows down, the production of digestive enzymes decreases, the ability of the intestines to absorb nutrients weakens, and, crucially, muscle cells become less responsive to stimuli. You could eat a large steak, feel full, but still not trigger the muscle-building response your body desperately needs. What truly surprised me was that as I examined this further, I discovered that some traditional foods, those that have been a staple in ancestral kitchens for hundreds of years, actually activated muscle-building markers more effectively than meat in older individuals. The challenge for those over 75 shifts from simply eating a lot to absorbing nutrients intelligently. It's no longer about brute force, but about biological precision, and what I'm about to share could completely revolutionize how you view nutrition during this stage of life. Before we continue, let me ask you, how old are you, and do you feel that the amount of protein you're currently consuming is making you stronger? Please share your age in the comments below. I read every comment as if we were having a one-on-one consultation. After the age of 75, your muscle cells no longer respond to protein with the same intensity. Researchers refer to this phenomenon as anabolic resistance. While it sounds complex, in simple terms, it means the signal to build muscle becomes weaker. You can consume a large piece of meat, you can ingest the recommended grams of protein, but your muscles no longer activate the growth switch as readily as they did when you were younger. Why does this happen? Firstly, the digestive system slows down. There's a decrease in stomach acid production and fewer enzymes that break down proteins. This means that protein isn't broken down into amino acids as efficiently as before. Secondly, the capacity of the intestines to absorb nutrients diminishes. The villi in your gut, which are responsible for absorption, don't function optimally. As a result, some of the protein you eat may pass through your digestive system without being fully utilized. Thirdly, a state of low-grade chronic inflammation, often called inflammaging, silently develops in the body. This chronic inflammation reduces the sensitivity of muscle cells to the signal from leucine, a key amino acid that triggers muscle protein synthesis. It's akin to trying to switch on a light, but the internal wiring is corroded. Fourthly, blood flow to the muscles gradually decreases with age. Less blood circulation means less oxygen and fewer nutrients reach the muscle tissue. Even if amino acids are present in your bloodstream, they may not be transported quickly enough to where they are needed. Finally, the mitochondria, the powerhouses of your cells, become less efficient. When cellular energy production declines, the body's ability to repair and regenerate tissues is also weakened. All these factors combine to create a crucial reality. After 75, your body no longer responds well to brute force nutrition. It responds to precision nutrition. It's not about consuming more, but about being more efficient. This is precisely why certain traditional foods that are fermented, release nutrients slowly, or promote a healthy gut microbiome become incredibly valuable in this life stage. And now, let's begin with the fifth food on our list, a food that has existed for over 1,000 years, a silent, humble ingredient that can significantly enhance protein absorption for individuals over 75. Food number 5 on our list can likely be found in the corner of your nearest Asian supermarket. It's fermented soybean paste, known as miso. Before you dismiss this as just another trendy ingredient, consider this. The fermentation process transforms ordinary soy protein into a form that is far easier for the body to absorb. A study published in the Journal of Nutritional Science demonstrated that the protein in miso can be absorbed by an older person's body with significantly greater efficiency compared to unfermented protein. This is particularly vital after the age of 75, when the digestive system slows down and protein digesting enzymes decrease. Miso essentially does some of the work for you. The beneficial bacteria involved in the fermentation process have already broken down the protein into small peptides and readily usable amino acids. When you consume miso, your body doesn't have to expend as much energy to process it. But miso isn't just about protein, it's also exceptionally rich in vitamin K2, a nutrient often overlooked in older adults. Vitamin K2 plays a critical role in directing calcium to your bones, preventing it from depositing in your arteries. This is extremely important for preventing osteoporosis and safeguarding cardiovascular health. In regions of Japan, where older adults consume miso daily, rates of osteoporosis and osteoarthritis are significantly lower compared to many Western countries. Incorporating miso into your diet is quite simple. Avoid boiling it directly, as high temperatures will destroy the beneficial bacteria. Instead, gently heat water or broth until it's simmering. Turn off the heat and then dissolve 1 or 2 tablespoons of miso. You can enhance it with seaweed, scallions, tofu, or mushrooms to create a light and nourishing meal. Having a warm bowl of miso soup in the morning or before dinner can kickstart your digestive system and improve your body's ability to absorb nutrients from other foods throughout the day. But miso is just the beginning. The next food on our list was a secret passed down through generations of our grandparents, and it provides collagen in a form that older bodies absorb more effectively than many expensive supplements. Food number 4 isn't a new trend. It's something our grandparents actively engaged in long before collagen pills or powdered supplements became available. It is slow-cooked bone broth made with marrow and joints. Not the watery, overly salted version you might find in a carton, but a truly slow-cooked broth made over 24 to 48 hours. When researchers analyzed bone broth that was slow-cooked correctly, they discovered high concentrations of collagen peptides, glycosaminoglycans, and hyaluronic acid. These are essential components for joint cartilage, connective tissue, and skin elasticity. More importantly, the collagen in bone broth is present in a gelatinous form. This form can overcome many of the digestive barriers that older individuals often face. From the age of 75 onwards, the stomach produces less acid and enzyme activity decreases, making many collagen pills less effectively absorbed. However, the gelatin in bone broth is easier to digest and is directly utilized by the body. A clinical trial demonstrated that older adults who drank 2 cups of bone broth daily for 8 weeks experienced remarkable improvements in joint flexibility and a reduction in movement-related pain. In addition to collagen, bone broth provides glycine, an amino acid that promotes deep sleep, reduces inflammation, and plays a role in the production of glutathione, the body's primary antioxidant, which declines with age. The preparation method is also quite specific. Use high-quality bones. Add a splash of apple cider vinegar to help extract minerals. Cook it at a very low simmer for at least 24 hours for chicken bones and 48 hours for beef bones. When the broth cools and sets into a slightly wobbly gel, it's a sign that the collagen has been properly extracted. Drink 1 to 2 cups a day, ideally on a relatively empty stomach, so that the collagen peptides can be absorbed without competition from other foods. But if you think bone broth is impressive, wait until you see food number 3. It not only supports bones, but also enhances blood flow to both the muscles and the brain in older adults. Food number 3 might seem simple, but it's precisely this simplicity that leads many to overlook its true power. We are talking about dark, leafy green vegetables cooked with healthy fats. Think spinach, kale, Swiss chard, collard greens, and mustard greens. These vegetables have formed the foundation of many traditional cuisines worldwide for centuries. The biggest mistake many older individuals make is consuming them entirely raw. A fresh salad might be beneficial at 40, But after 75, the plant's cell wall, which is rich in cellulose, is very difficult for a digestive system that has lost efficiency to break down. This means you might only absorb a small fraction of the nutrients these vegetables actually contain. Traditional cultures understood this long ago. They always cooked their vegetables, and almost always cooked them with fat. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition revealed that when leafy greens are lightly cooked and consumed with olive oil, ghee, or coconut oil, the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins like A, K, and E increases by 300% to 500% compared to eating them raw or without fat. For individuals over 75, this has immense significance. Vitamin K1 from greens, combined with K2 from fermented foods, helps maintain bone density. Vitamin A bolsters immunity, a system that gradually weakens with age. Folate supports cardiovascular health and cognitive function, but the benefits extend far beyond this. Leafy greens are incredibly rich in natural nitrates. Upon entering the body, these nitrates convert into nitric oxide, a molecule that helps dilate blood vessels and improve blood flow. Studies show that older adults who consume nitrate-rich vegetables daily experience a noticeable improvement in blood flow to their brain and muscles, which helps muscles receive more oxygen during exercise. Their preparation is quite straightforward. Wash them thoroughly, chop them into small pieces, and gently sauté them for 5 to 8 minutes with olive oil and garlic. Avoid overcooking them. Add a squeeze of lemon juice to enhance iron absorption. A serving of cooked greens a day can make a significant difference over time. But the next food on this list is even more comprehensive. It provides virtually all the essential nutrients for muscles, bones, and the brain in a single, small serving. Food number 2 was once the cornerstone of diets for many coastal communities around the world, yet today it is largely undervalued. We are talking about whole sardines, consumed with their soft bones included. Sardines may not be glamorous, but from a nutritional standpoint, they are virtually unmatched for individuals over 75. In a single small serving, sardines offer complete protein with all the essential amino acids. Simultaneously, they contain omega-3s in the highly absorbable forms of EPA and DHA. Furthermore, they provide calcium from the bones, vitamin D, vitamin B12, and selenium, a potent antioxidant. Crucially, the calcium from sardine bones is found in a natural structure alongside phosphorus and other cofactors. The body absorbs this form much more effectively than synthetic calcium supplements. From the age of 75 onwards, when the risk of osteoporosis and hip fractures increases, this natural source of calcium is particularly valuable. The omega-3s in sardines also play a role in reducing systemic inflammation, or inflammaging, a factor that contributes to muscle loss and joint degeneration. Studies have shown that older adults who consume small fish rich in omega-3s several times a week have lower levels of inflammatory markers and better muscle mass retention compared to groups consuming an equivalent amount of protein from red meat. A key point to highlight is that protein and omega-3s coexisting within the same food create a more potent effect than eating meat and then taking a fish oil supplement separately. It's a natural synergistic effect that pills can hardly replicate. Their consumption is very simple. Choose canned sardines packed in extra virgin olive oil. Eat them directly on whole wheat toast with a squeeze of lemon. Mix them with mashed avocado or top your cooked leafy greens with them. Make sure to eat the soft bones. That's where the majority of the calcium is concentrated. 2 to 3 servings per week can lead to a noticeable change over time. But food number 1 on this list goes beyond muscle preservation. It is directly linked to longevity and is consistently found in all the world's longest living populations. Food number 1 is not meat, it's not fish, and it's not an expensive food. It is slow-cooked lentils and other legumes. When researchers identified the world's 5 blue zones, areas with significantly higher rates of people reaching 91 years old, they discovered a common dietary factor: daily consumption of legumes. The foundation isn't meat, it's legumes. A study that followed older adults across various countries for years demonstrated that for every additional 20 grams of legumes in their daily diet, the risk of all-cause mortality decreased by 7% to 8%. No other food group has shown such a strong correlation with survival. But why are legumes so special for those over 75? Firstly, the protein in lentils is released slowly. Unlike meat, which creates a rapid spike in amino acids followed by a sharp decline, legumes provide a stable supply of amino acids over hours. This better suits how aging muscles process proteins in a slow but sustained manner. Secondly, legumes are very rich in resistant starch. This type of starch isn't digested in the small intestine. Instead, it's fermented by beneficial bacteria in the large intestine. This process creates short-chain fatty acids, particularly butyrate, a compound that helps reduce systemic inflammation, strengthens the gut barrier, and improves mineral absorption. After 75, the diversity of the gut microbiome decreases. Feeding. Beneficial bacteria with resistant starch can improve the entire immune and metabolic system. Thirdly, lentils contain abundant folate, iron, potassium, and magnesium. These are micronutrients that are often deficient in older adults and are essential for heart health, muscle function, and blood pressure regulation. The traditional preparation involves soaking legumes for 4 to 6 hours or overnight to reduce lectins and phytates. Then, they are slow cooked until they are nearly creamy. Turmeric, garlic, and onion are added to enhance their anti-inflammatory effect, and they are finished with a squeeze of lemon juice to improve iron absorption. A daily serving of legumes could be the most significant dietary shift an individual over 75 can make. Now let's look at this entire list in a broader perspective. Miso enhances absorption, bone broth nourishes joints and connective tissue, cooked leafy greens with fat optimize vitamins and blood flow. Sardines provide complete protein along with omega-3s and natural calcium, and lentils feed the gut microbiome while offering slow-releasing, sustained protein. These are not glamorous foods, nor are they highly advertised superfoods. They are traditional dishes, affordable, easy to find, and simple to prepare. However, when combined, they address nearly every physiological challenge faced by individuals over 75. Weakened digestion, reduced absorption, increased chronic inflammation, loss of muscle mass, loss of bone mass, diminished immunity, and reduced blood circulation. What's remarkable is that cultures known for longevity don't focus on eating more. They focus on a more efficient nutritional system. They consume foods that help the body work smarter rather than forcing it. After 75, you no longer win with brute force. You win with strategy. Small but consistent changes, such as a daily bowl of lentils, a couple of servings of sardines per week, cooked greens with olive oil, a warm bowl of miso, can lead to accumulating benefits over time. Most importantly, you don't need to overhaul your entire diet overnight. Start with 1 or 2 foods from this list this week. Allow your body time to adapt. Let the benefits compound. Modern science is confirming what our ancestors knew through experience. A traditional, simple, and appropriate way of eating can protect long-term health. The question isn't how much longer you can live, but how much longer you can live healthily and independently. And the small decisions you make today regarding your meals can shape that answer. You don't need to eliminate meat from your diet. This isn't a war between meat and traditional foods. It's about biological efficiency. After 75, your body needs precision. Choose 1 or 2 foods from this list this very week. It could be a bowl of miso in the morning, sardines twice a week, or a daily serving of lentils. Don't try to change everything at once. Build the habit. I want to ask you something directly. How old are you? And in the last 6 months, have you felt stronger or weaker? Please write your age below, and if you're willing to make a change, write, I choose to eat smarter. I read every comment, not to collect statistics, but to understand where you are on this journey. If this content has helped you view nutrition from a new perspective, subscribe to ensure you don't miss future analyses that can directly impact your health. And if you have parents or elderly relatives over 75, please share this video with them. After 75, you don't need to eat more. You need to eat with more precision.